show for part 3 of Outside the Ropes with myself, Matthew Moore, and my partner in crime, Mr. Tommy McNulty.
Mr. is correct.
You wish. Going on, we did say we were going to close TNA, but during the commercial break there, we had an epiphany. We forgot to talk about something about TNA, what's happened this last week or so.
I reminded you because you're suffering from Alzheimer's.
Yep, definitely. TNA this week has announced that Jeff Hardy has signed a new 2-year contract. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, does he deserve it?
Jeff Hardy can say he's changed. I don't care. The fact that he walked out drunk at a pay-per-view.
Not a house show.
Not a house show, but a pay-per-view against Sting, the icon, for the heavyweight title was ridiculous. Mm. The guy should have been hung, drawn, quartered, and threw out of the company non-stop.
But we did talk about it the other week, but he has signed a new 2-year deal with TNA Wrestling, or Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it now. Mm.
Why is it called Impact Wrestling? The show itself is called Impact. The company is TNA.
I don't know. It's Hulk Hogan's vision.
Lack of vision with his age.
Going on. We'll talk about SmackDown from this past Friday night. Well, wasn't it an overly fantastic show, was it really? Don't know what you're playing at there, like, but you fixing yourself there? Or?
I'm checking your run sheet here.
My run sheet? What is he like? I tell you, he's unprepared this week. That's why he's got, I don't know, whatever it is he has there with him. But before we go to SmackDown, we're going to go to our tweets. In fact, why I get the device out and read out your tweets, folks, you can give the folks their SmackDown results. Go ahead. Come on, the folks are watching here. You on strike?
Good idea, I'm on strike.
Folks, why do I even bother with this guy every week on Outside the Rope? Seriously, why do I even bother? Give the folks the SmackDown results in case they didn't see it.
I don't have them.
Please. You don't have them?
No.
Oh, dear. This guy, believe me, drives me cuckoo. We will look at our tweets.
I'm putting in a complaint about you. I want to speak to my solicitor.
About what? Where I insulted you last week? Where assaulted you, sorry.
Look what he gave me to. Remember, he said that I pretty much had nothing.
Teddy bear picnic?
Teddy bear picnic. A teddy bear cup. Can you believe that? It's insulting.
No comment. Right. We shout out first of all to Dash Action Figures who followed us within the last week or so. It seems to be an action figure place based in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, hello.
Hello, St. Louis, Missouri.
Very great wrestling history in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm, definitely. We shout out to Aaron Thompson, who says, I hope Raw's on the agenda. Raw's always on the agenda here every week.
Of course.
So, yep, thank you very much for your retweet there. Robert Render, who tweeted in last week, was very impatient about our video. We had a few technical issues as we were moving venue, should we say. But it's up now, last week's. And we've got a new YouTube channel as well. Check it out as well, Outside the Rope.
Should we get Robbie to be our DJ?
No.
No?
No offense.
Marshall?
Only kidding.
Let's give me a shout out.
Quick pop. Yeah. Robbie, we do apologise about that. Fans, we apologise. We're actually moving to our own YouTube channel. We had it on a friend of ours' YouTube channel. Now we've got our own YouTube channel, Outside the Ropes. So the username is actually Outside the Rope 1. So it would be above my head. Yes. Subscribe button.
Sabu style.
Yep. Push the subscribe button and give us a wee subscribe, and thanks for tuning in.
Go to McDonald's and get me a Big Mac.
Yep. Is that an Archie pop for Robbie?
Love you.
Fantastic. Two Landley has tweeted in this week again, saying, I'd love WWE to sign Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and AJ Styles, but not just to get buried. We talked about it before. Yep, definitely. Not get buried. Mike Rogers has been tweeting in quite a lot this week again as well. So he has...
Send me money, please.
He actually agreed with one of your comments there, so he did, about last week. With the dance-off with Brutus Clay and Tenzai. So, our tweet here as well saying about Randy Orton's heel turn. It's overdue. He's been quite stale recently as a face. You know, still not got those SmackDown results up now. Bad man. This is what we love. It's like live recording or live on the air here. It's always a mess up. We messed up this week.
TV.
We messed up this week.
I didn't mess up.
We do apologise. Now this is normal here aimed for a question you because you're a Cody Rhodes fan. With Rhodes Scholars breaking up, word is possibly that the primetime players possibly splitting. What will become of the so-called regeneration of the tag team division? I love the primetime players. I think they're awesome.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do. Damien Sandow could go and learn more things from the genius Lanny Poffo, or go and get some more Rick Martel shorts. Cody Rhodes could go and film more episodes of Magnum PI. Who knows?
You never know. Now, we were talking about Robbie there. We'll bring him into the conversation again here. He says, thanks for the mention last week, guys. Miss you guys. Tommy needs to cheer up a bit more.
I'm always cheered up.
He's a grumpy old so-and-so, isn't he? Another retweet here from the Anti-Diva saying, do you fellas think that Chris Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame? I know it'll probably never happen. My opinions are my own. Are we hashtag for you there? Thank you very much to Anti-Diva.
Thank you, Anti-Diva. Uncle Diva, Anti-Diva, you know.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame. Can you ever see it happening?
We talked about this before.
We will talk about what wrestlers do in the ring. What they do in their personal lives is none of our business. But Chris Benoit we respect as a wrestler.
I'd like to see him in the Hall of Fame just because of what he did for the business. Even though, I guess, his personal life did put a bit of a black mark on it towards the end.
Definitely.
But the fact that he's a former world champion in WWE, former world champion in WCW, multiple time US champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champion. He had lots of great matches in Japan, ECW, WCW, the WWE, and that should give his career life because...
Yeah, I 100% agree, but I unfortunately I can't see it happening.
He won't go in the Hall of Fame unless it happens 20 to 30 years down the line.
Maybe. A couple of shout outs to new followers. Diana K. Hello. WWE Central. Hi.
Hello.
And Marty Boyle. So, Mr. Excitement, we'll have to give him a shout out again. Every Friday.
Mr. Excitement, say hello to Mr. Fantastic.
So he wishes. Every Friday, Mr. Excitement tweets us every single Friday. Stop looking at me like that. You know I'm telling the truth.
You disgust me.
Bring it on. Mr. Excitement every Friday tweets us in his follow Friday. So we got to give him a big hello again, Mr. Excitement. I would love to read your tweets and hear from you. There's a few more tweets we want to get through, but unfortunately due to time restrictions, we'll have to sort of move on to other things that we're going to talk about.
Are you going to talk about SmackDown?
No, because that was your job to get the results.
No, it wasn't.
And to watch the show. That was your... I'm not even going to get into it.
I watched Impact. You were supposed to watch SmackDown.
No comment.
You didn't say anything about Impact.
Not even going to argue with you. It's not even worth the time or argument.
You see?
We'd get kicked off the air. So we would. We would get kicked off the air.
I wouldn't. I'd get you fired. I have an ironclad contract.
Just like he claims he got that guy behind the camera.
Oh, he's fired. He's out of here.
So you think.
I've got an ironclad contract. No one can fire me.
Ironclad will hit you with a head with it. Anyway. We'll go to our final commercial break before we go into the final part of tonight's show, which we're going to talk about, as we said last week, some pay-per-views that stood out for us over the years. From the month of February, yep. We're talking about some pay-per-views that stood out. We're actually going to pick us a 5 tonight and 5 next week before we'll head into the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view at the end of the month. So we'll actually be back with you in a few moments' time and we'll talk about our sort of 5 pay-per-views that stood out for us for this week anyway. Okay. In the month of February. We'll back in about 2 or 3 minutes' time on Bangor Community Radio and we'll play another wonderful track. I
need to see this playlist. I really do.
Definitely. You have like who'd you have on it? Elvis Presley and Roy Orbison and
no.
All them ones?
No.
Who would you have on it?
The Cheeky Girls. Joke.
Cheeky Girls. Right, we'll see you back in a few moments' time. Before we get fired here, we'll have to go. So, stop holding me back here. Kidding. See you in a few moments' time here on YouTube and also on Bangor Community Radio for more Outside the Ropes. Hi folks, welcome back to the final part of this week's show, Outside the Ropes, with myself, Matthew Moore, and my partner, co-host, whatever he wants to call himself, Mr. Tommy McNulty. Moving on now to the final part of tonight's show, I want to talk about the pay-per-views in the month of February. We're going to start from what year?
We're going to kick off with 1996.
1996.
Which was In Your House.
Great pay-per-view. Loved In Your House. Loved the setup. Loved the whole feel about the pay-per-views. Unfortunately, back in the UK in the early days, we never really got the In Your House pay-per-views.
Just had to do it on videotapes.
Or import videotapes.
Yes.
Or Raw, which we flash now and again of the pay-per-view. But anyway, kick it off, Tommy. Go on ahead there and we'll kick it off in 1995.
Well, 1996.
Sorry, 1986.
Hard to find. Good help.
Raw, In Your House didn't start until
In Your House
1996.
in February 1995.
Right.
It didn't start until May of 95.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, February 1996, In Your House. Can't even remember which number it was, but one of the main matches that stood out for me was...
Go ahead.
One of the main matches that stood out for me was the Crybaby match between the bad guy Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid. Of course, they had been partners throughout 1995. In real life, they were members of the Clique.
I'm listening.
Nice.
I'm listening to you.
Anyway, they had been partners. You better cut that out. That's not funny.
I am doing nothing of the sort. I am sitting here literally listening to you. Come on, our folks want to hear what you're saying.
They had been partners through 1995, also members of the Clique.
Then the Kid joined.
The Kid joined the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, in the $1 Million Corporation. That was around December of 95. At the Royal Rumble of 96, the 1-2-3 Kid caused Razor Ramon to lose the Intercontinental title to Goldust.
At the Royal Rumble.
I just said that, Royal Rumble 1996. So that set up the match for February's In Your House pay-per-view. And stop making faces at me because I can see you do it.
Keep going.
Crybaby match at In Your House, where the loser had to be diapered by the winner and have baby powder and a bottle. That was the basic concept of a Crybaby match.
Wasn't it a great match though, was it?
No, but can you remember any other matches from that pay-per-view?
Not particularly, no.
There you go. At least I remembered one.
I do remember.
And you call yourself a wrestling fan. That was $1 Million
I was
Man
watching
laugh
wrestling. I was watching wrestling before
50 years before I was born.
this guy was even conceived. Anyway, 1997.
Yeah, Lou Thez stuff back in the 1940s.
1997 was it In Your House again?
Yep.
It was a fatal four-way for the WWF title, not WWE, WWF title, because the concept was from the Royal Rumble where Shawn Michaels defeated Psycho Sid, but then Shawn had forfeited the title.
That was the whole I lost my smile stuff.
Bit of controversy going on there because people were saying that Shawn was scared to face Brett. Bit of controversy going on because they were due to be booked for WrestleMania that year again. But Shawn vacated the title. He stepped down as champion. He claimed he had a knee injury. So this led into a fatal four-way match that, at the time, WWF President Gorilla Monsoon, Hall of Famer, absolute legend, made it a fatal four-way match between Bret Hart,
The Undertaker,
Vader, and the Royal Rumble winner, remember, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I was wrong, I said Psycho Sid there. My mistake.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Bret Hart won the WWF title that night, but lost it the very next night on Raw
to Psycho
Sid,
who then went on to lose the title at WrestleMania to The Undertaker.
And also, if Shawn Michaels had have accepted that match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania, we would not have gotten the submission match between
Bret and Stone Cold. Yeah, and Stone Cold wouldn't have been the biggest switch in history either, as well. And Austin, well, he made it rose to popularity, but you know. But Bret Hart won the title in February. Moving on to 1998,
which was In Your House 20, No Way Out of Texas.
Do the maths, folks. 20, which was the 8-man tag, which was supposed to be originally Stone Cold Steve Austin, the hometown guy at the time, from Texas, Owen Hart,
Cactus Jack,
Mick Foley, or Cactus Jack at the time, and Chainsaw Charlie, a.k.a. Terry Funk, against the New Age Outlaws, soon to be new DX members the following month. And D-Generation X members at the time, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. But at the time, Shawn Michaels, who previously the month before injured his back at the Royal Rumble, stepped out of the match. And replaced him was someone who I thought would... No, you think they would have put in somebody bigger than one of him. No offense to him.
Yeah.
You know, Savio Vega.
The leader of Los Boricos.
Yeah. You kind of look like one of them members yourself with that haircut. And
Which one? Miguel or something with the hairy back?
no comment.
Jose or Jesus?
But anyway.
Get out, stop laughing at me. Come on.
You gotta love this guy. But anyway, yeah.
You've been phoning, now you're laughing at me?
You said he was fired.
You're fired, get out.
Check, please.
Check. I'm beginning to boot up the you-know-what.
Moving on. That match itself ended with the winners were Stone Cold's team. Ended off with a hot tag at the end. Stone Cold come in 1,000 miles an hour whooping ass. And at the end of the match, he stunned China.
Yep. Well, she was giving him the finger.
Yeah, she was in his face, pushing Steve. Steve, you know, was getting out of the ring, tapped him, turned around, gave him the double bird.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold thought, okay, enough's enough. Boot to the gut, dropped it. I think it wasn't a great stunner either, because she's kind of landed. It was weird stunner, but anyway. Moving on, 1999.
Which was St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Great pay-per-view.
Definitely.
The debut of the Big Show.
Yep, during the steel cage match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and the winner of the 1999 Royal Rumble, Mr. McMahon.
No chance in hell. We also had The Rock versus Mick Foley as well.
Last man standing. A rematch from the Royal Rumble's I Quit match between the two.
Great match.
Which was a brilliant match, very brutal match. The opening contest of St. Valentine's Massacre was Goldust against Blue Dust, who was the Blue Meanie. You do look a bit like the Blue Meanie there.
You gotta love the BWO, come on.
Do I really have to?
Well, you can't look like Stevie Richards. I'm kidding.
Stevie Richards wishes he could look like me. Big Stevie Cool.
Anyway, the main event was Vince and Steve.
Yeah.
Where Steve's WrestleMania title shot was on the line. And McMahon made a promise that none of the corporation would interfere.
Correct.
Steve was about to win the match, and out from the middle of the ring comes the Big Show. Or Paul White, as he was known at the time.
He had just come over from WCW, where he was known as the Giant.
He was released by WCW. And
he wasn't released, he left.
Well, same thing, he left, he was gone from WCW. But he grabbed Steve and chucked Steve into the cage where the cage broke. Steve fell out of the ring, and Steve went to WrestleMania.
Yep.
Sorry, it was Vince McMahon who put his WrestleMania title shot on the line. Sorry, correction. On to the final one for tonight, 2000.
2000.
No Way Out. Great pay-per-view.
It was supposed to be Mick Foley's last ever match. It was his retirement match.
It was a feud they had at the time with Triple H, because they had a match the previous month at the Royal Rumble, a street fight in New York City.
The feud had been building up quite a bit. It was Triple H and Mankind.
That's right, because he beat him for the title. He beat him for the title after SummerSlam. He hit him in the knee with a sledgehammer. Foley was out for a while, came back. They're mocking Mick Foley. Triple H was doing the wee segments where he was dressed up, and then Mick Foley came out on SmackDown and then took off the mask, took off the shirt, and he was Cactus Jack. Led into a match at the Rumble, where I thought was a fantastic match. That's where Triple H got the puncture on the back of his calf muscle by getting backdropped onto the pallet. And then moving on to The Way Out, which is the February pay-per-view where they had the Hell in a Cell match, which was a great match.
Yeah, I loved it.
Mick Foley. The most remembered thing about that, well, two things was Mick Foley with the barbed wire 2x4 on top of the cage on fire. And, three things. Triple H's obvious look where he lifts the switch on the top of the cage for Foley to get backdrop for the cage to drop. With the new structured roof at the time, because they had the roof reinforced.
When he went through the ring, he went through the cage, he actually went through the ring too.
Yep.
He made a big dent in the mat.
Yep. He actually got up from that. And Triple H tried to pin him. No, he didn't. He just beat him up, and then he pedigreed him, and he won. And Stephanie McMahon was in his corner at the time too.
Also that night, Kane fought X-Pac, and Kane got the Tombstone Tory, I believe. Tombstone Tory.
Great pay-per-view. But I always remember that match. And that was also the night that Kurt Angle became the Euro-Continental Champion. Where you see earlier on in the night, you see him talking to security, saying he was going to go up and celebrate with the fans. I thought Kurt was great at that point.
His manager at the time was Bob Backlund, wasn't it?
But Bob Backlund turned on him. Like, Bob Backlund wasn't with him at the pay-per-view, but shortly after. And on the free-for-all at WrestleMania, he put him in the crossface chicken wing. And then Kurt lost both titles at WrestleMania to Chris Benoit and Jericho. But when Kurt won, he beat Y2J, by the way, for the title. And when he did, he was celebrating with both belts, and he went up into the fans at the popcorn area, and he was running around. The popcorn was getting everywhere, and the drinks and all, and he was just having an absolute ball.
That is old school WWF from 1996 until 2000. If you haven't got a chance to watch any old WWF, go back and watch it. If you think WWE is good now, damn, will you be taken away?
You'll be blown away, pretty much, definitely. There's 100%. I mean, the Attitude Era changed the WWF stroke WWE to what it is today. It generated so much money to all the stuff you see today, like these new big flashy HD tower or screens. And yes, obviously not taking any credit from the guys who work their ass off today, but I'm talking about the guys back in the day who kept the WWF open. Even
go back and watch old early 90s stuff as well, with Hogan and Warrior and Savage.
Crowds were awesome.
All great. Well, Warrior and Hogan, not much, but they were stars. They were great stars.
Yeah, it was a great time. I mean, the Attitude Era just exploded. You know, it was a time where Vince had to sort of put all his cards on the table and go for broke, just like he did for WrestleMania. And it just went for unbelievable. It just exploded. You know, even the guys in the bottom of the card and the mid card were getting bigger pops than what like the main event stars nowadays do. But on closing tonight's show, anything you want to add regarding tonight before we close the episode? Well, I would like to say,
well, I've heard through the grapevine that two wrestlers from here had somewhat of a tryout on the TNA Gut Check over in Nottingham recently.
That's correct. Which was TNA Gut Check apparently has been cancelled till future notice because of the voting system. Apparently, there was a problem with the voting system. But two wrestlers from Northern Ireland got an opportunity to go to the Gut Check.
Yeah.
And for what we hear, they've done quite well.
Congratulations to them both.
Yep, definitely. If you want to mention their names, even.
Tucker and Damien Corvin.
So fair play to them. We haven't heard we heard they've done quite well, but we haven't heard whether they're being selected or not. Or but fair play to them, and really do hope that things work out, and hope not just that there are more stars from this country get more of a break. We had another guy who went to the WWE FCW. Tron, but it called him Jason Mullen
over there.
And unfortunately things didn't work out, but you never really might go back someday. But we hope that more stars. We've had stars over here like Finlay. His dad was pretty big, but he didn't go to WWE. Sheamus from Dublin.
Guy Prince Devitt, Fergal Devitt, who's doing unbelievably well over in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Definitely.
I see Paul Tracy over there, Jordan Devlin, Sean Maxer Brennan's over there too.
It's one of them. Well, it's good to see Irish stars getting a break.
Absolutely.
It's such a small island. We're such a small part of the world compared to the States and Canada and other places. So, but I'd like to close it with my final thing is we're talking about Bruno Sammartino. Without a question, I'm happy about it. I'm glad to see it happen.
I'm sure everybody is.
100%. So
him and Ric Flair don't really get along too much, so I wonder what that reaction's going to be.
They'll probably hug it out. As Kane and Daniel Bryan says, hug it out.
Dr. Shelby.
We'll never hug it out, though.
You tried to hug me, I would have you arrested. For gross misconduct.
That'll wrap us up for this week, folks. We hope you enjoy the show. Before we do close the episode, quick reminder, check us out on our website, which is www.outsidetheropes.tk. Give us a wee follow on Twitter as well, at Outside the Rope. No S on the end, just Outside the Rope. Also on Facebook, just search Outside the Ropes, and in brackets,
Wrestling Talk Show.
Also our friends here at Bangor Community Radio, give them a wee like as well.
You're fired. He's weaseled his way back into this room again.
Bangor Community Radio, and also on their Twitter page at Bangor1079FM. That'll wrap us up for tonight. Thank you once again, Mr. McNulty, for coming in tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week from our lovely new outlook, our new studio we have here. So for myself, Matthew Moore, and my co-host, partner, crime, you want to do your rant like you always do before we wrap it up?
Mr. Fantastic, the man that knows it all. Oh, stop it there.
Host with the most, blah, blah, blah.
Man of the hour, man of the part, too sweet to be sour.
Say no more.
Stuff from Superstar Billy Graham there.
Say no more about it. We'll see you right here next week for more Outside the Ropes.
We'll see that guy back here again because he's still fired.
That's what he thinks. See you next week, folks. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening tonight.